Yeah, I've again, 26 different broken bones, probably
Jesus.
25, six surgeries. You know, I've done probably four lungs, like 12 ribs, lacerated liver, no ACL, pretty much my whole career.
Yeah.
I have uh let's see, four rods, three plates, 33 screws in my body.
Jeez.
I've had 20 concussions and I've been paralyzed four times.
Jeez.
All from the sport of motocross. Well, one broken neck was on a street bike. A car hit me. I thought I was
Still
being
managed
safer,
for it
but
to be bike
apparently
related
not.
though.
Yeah, it's motorcycle related for
Yeah.
sure. So, yeah, so I've beat myself up, and I would do it all over again
Yeah.
if I had a chance to go race again for sure.
Yeah.
Um, but the biggest thing for me is what I try to promote to people is what about after? What about,
Yeah.
because everybody's going to have those injuries, everybody's going to have those setbacks, but how do you deal with it? And how can you go on through life without being addicted to pain pills or
Yeah.
addicted to something else, which I never have been, or I don't use anything for pain at all. Zero,
Yeah.
zero pain. And it's because of my lifestyle, eating correctly,
Yeah.
grounding to the earth, ice baths, saunas, yoga, hiking,
Yeah.
um, things like that is what's going to make sure that you don't have lingering effects. Because to me, your lifestyle is like your back wheel or your front wheel,
Yeah.
right? You can't hit 15 spokes and forget the rest, or you're going to have a wobbly wheel in the air.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
have to hit every spoke with the same amount of torque to make that wheel true. So same with your lifestyle. You have to hit everything with the same amount of torque, not too much, not too little,
Yeah.
meaning your nutrition, your detox, your fitness, your mindset, your lifestyle, your people, your friends, your relationships. Everything has to have that balance, or you're going to have a untrue wheel, meaning an untrue life.
Yeah. How do you go with do you, obviously you must have some aches and pains, and like your lifestyle, like you said, is negates a lot of that. But how do you go day by day with your previous injuries? Do you deal with a lot of pain or?
No, I don't have any pain.
Wow,
The only
really?
time I have pain is if I don't have any pain. As long as I have pain is if I train too hard,
Yeah.
or I don't move at all.
Yeah.
Meaning, like, let's say, I'm flying or traveling or whatever it is, or sick, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You're kind of stationary for a day or two. Then I start getting a little bit tight and sore.
Yeah.
Or if my excuse me,
That's
if my motivation gets too strong and I train too hard, well, then I'm sore.
yeah.
So even with my training and even with my resting, I have to have that happy medium.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's how life should be. You should meet life in the middle. Nothing too high, nothing too low,
Yeah.
nothing too extreme, and nothing too stale. And
Yeah.
that's what I always say. My God lives between my mild and my wild.
Yeah.
If you're too wild, you lose yourself. If you're too mild, you suffocate yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got to have that happy medium, because that's what nature is.
Yeah.
It's a happy medium. And same with that. Half the day's light, half the day's dark,
Yeah.
unless you live in Iceland. Then it is a different story.
I always loved that
So
about you when you were racing. You were like, the wild man out there. Like aggressive, never say die. I remember you saying one time, I think was it Grant Langston that you were lined up next to him and you're like, hey, you better get a good jump or I'm gonna cut your ass off. Like
yeah, yeah,
that's gold.
we laugh about that, and it's true, because
Yeah,
it's coming down to the championship. And
yeah.
I wasn't a dirty rider.
No,
I never took anybody out on purpose,
yeah,
never, ever, ever. And so going for a championship, well, I'm going to use every tactic I can, and that is,
definitely.
hold on a second.
Yeah.
Damn it, I just ate lunch, so sorry.
No, no worries.
I just every tactic I can, and that's just telling the truth. Hey, look, if you do not get a good jump, I'm going to cut your ass off. And so
Yeah,
after the race, I think I got second because of Bubba got first, of course, and then I don't
yeah.
know what place he got. I came back and I pointed at him. I said, "Dude, I told you what I was going to do."
But just
You know,
the
and
mentality and you.
but we're friends now. We laugh about it, and
Yeah,
same thing with Mike. We laugh about the fight we got into and the things, and then he admitted that, yeah, that was probably the dirtiest thing I did was T-bone you in that corner, in
yeah,
practice and all that stuff. So it was kind of funny to hear
Yeah.
that.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're super competitive, and it's you're to that point in your life. That's your whole life's work, and like you ain't gonna let anyone get in the way of that at the time. So I could definitely appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, why should you? You put too much time in, you put too much years in, there's too much risk.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
And there's too much pride in it too. So why would you ever allow someone to just pass you or just to beat you or not come to the line with a positive mindset, you know?
yeah,
I came to a line, even I'm racing Bubba. I already knew I was probably going to lose, but I came in there with this mindset of unbreakable, I'm unbeatable, I'm unstoppable. There's no way anybody's going to fucking beat me. I will
yeah,
not allow it. I will
yeah,
not allow it. And it's over and over and over and over and over till the gate dropped. Then you got to deal with the race.
yeah,
Yeah, may I got beat, no problem. But then the next race I'd do it again and to get beat again. Okay, next race again. At least I'm lining up with an offensive mindset
yeah.
and not lining up with the defensive mindset of what if, what could, what might.
Yes.
That you're never going to win with that.
Yeah,
Never going to win with that. So at least start off with, even if you got to lie to yourself, and that's what I got to tell a lot of kids. I'm like, you don't trust yourself, believe in yourself, have the confidence. Well, let's start lying to yourself and just start telling yourself that you do,
yeah,
because then after a while you're going to start being that. Because why are you the one that doesn't have any confidence? Is because you've said that to yourself so many times that now it's become an implant. It's going to imprint it in your mind, because your mind is just a recorder of the past, of what you read, what you heard, what you saw, and what someone's told you.
mm,
And even your own mind, what it's told you, that's
mm,
all you are. So you have to remap that by sometimes lying to yourself in the beginning, but then all of a sudden it starts to become like reality.
mm. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you've
Yeah,
got
there's no
to.
other way, you know?
Yeah, I mean, if you can't do it yet, you've got to talk yourself into it to begin with,
Yeah,
until it
yeah,
happens. Yeah. Um,
exactly.
with because you did have a lot of injuries earlier on, and that. How do you reckon that maybe affected your potential, and like where you reckon things
Uh,
might
I,
have gone?
I mean, I think it affected me massively because before, like from the 80, 90, 90, 91, all that,
Yeah,
I mean, dude, I was, my first national. I mean, I started racing in 1984, 9 to 11 beginner.
yeah,
1988, I was 125, 250 pro. 1990, I finished fifth in my first national.
yeah,
6 years. So that's pretty fast.
definitely.
Then, I finished top 10 the rest of the year in nationals. Went to Loretta's that year and all the amateur nationals, won 10 amateur titles the whole year against McGrath, Swink,
Mm,
Phil Lawrence, all these guys that were, kick ass riders, Mike Brown,
mm,
the stuff. Then 91, almost won the first Supercross. Myself and Brian Swink came from dead last. He beat me by a knobby.
mm,
My first 250 Supercross, I finished ninth. So I was beating Jeremy and all that regularly,
yeah,
regularly. Then I went that same year, went to Tokyo Dome, broke my wrist, scaphoid, didn't figure out that it was broken for a while. So I had some complications with it. And then this is, let's see, that's all I can move it up.
yeah. Shit.
That's it. So I did my whole career like that. And so that is what is when my injury started, because when I give it gas, I'm already off balance,
Yes. Yeah.
right? So I'm off balance. So if I'm off balance and something goes a little bit incorrectly, well, I just magnified that mistake or bobble or problem,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
then the same thing that's happened to a lot of guys, Bubba, Kennard, quite a few people have gotten hurt quite a few times, that you start getting a little gun shy.
Yeah.
And once you start getting a little gun shy, then you magnify problems again,
Yeah.
right? And so those things are what I think caused a lot of injury in my life and a lot of kind of a staleness in my progression.
Yeah.
So, but
So.
it is what it is. It is what it is. And, those guys, yeah, they beat me. They won a lot more titles, a lot more races, but you have to go to their house to
Yeah.
go see those trophies and see those number one plates. And where's their give back to the audience or the people in the sport? Where's their advice? Where's their, you know, understanding or knowledge of it?
Yeah.
And so for me, I have the ability to speak, to be able to teach, to be able to explain something very difficult in a very simplistic way.
Yeah.
And I'll take that all day for over 10 championships. Maybe my bank account would like the 10 championships, but
Yeah.
what I can offer people
Yeah.
and what I can share with people it's so much more than just a number one plate hanging on my wall that has dust on it now.
Yeah,
If that makes sense.
definitely. Yeah,
So, because for me, if you came to my place, you would have no idea I raced a motorcycle.
true.
Not a clue, unless you went into one little room and saw just a couple things that I kept.
Yeah,
You know, I don't live in the past, and I don't want to be 52 years old still living like I'm 25, or
yeah,
still banking on when I was 25. Now I'm 52, so look at me differently now
yeah.
than when I was racing a motorcycle.
If you like this content, please like and subscribe. And for the full podcast, please click the link in the description. And for the lads, I'll see you next lap.